Alrighty, Roo, Cuckoo to you, and all my nobody's not watching out there. We're back to this. We're down to 5 contestants. Um, let's see. I'm gonna start I guess we'll just keep doing that. What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
I once bought this outfit and I posted on Instagram #NewOutfit.
But it was
What I
from
didn't realize is that I posted in the same exact outfit that I bought a few months earlier. People thought I was lying, but I just forgot that I bought the same outfit. People still bring it up in the comments to this day.
I honestly, if her character is supposed to be like an archetype of like, influencer culture, she's doing a damn good job of it. I don't know, like, she doesn't strike me as a liar. She just strikes me as it's what you see is what you get, I guess, kind of. um well, it's like, what's the dumbest thing? What's your proudest accomplishment? We'll just bounce
What
back
is
and
your
forth.
proudest accomplishment?
My proudest accomplishment. I would probably say when I hit 1 million followers.
Yep.
That wasn't my only milestone, but that one definitely stuck with me.
Happiest memory.
What's your happiest memory?
When I was 8 years old, my parents bought me my first pony. They made sure it was a surprise by telling me I wouldn't get one until I was 10 years old. Then I went outside, and there she was, with a big bow.
Those clever
It
foxes.
was extra surprising because it wasn't even my birthday.
I mean, the subterfuge is so many levels more than necessary. But the best Marion birthday to a overprivileged, pretty white girl like yourself. Woo! Yay! I was supposed to get this for like another 2 years on the annual celebration of the day I came into this world. Wow. It's like, no, your father, we don't talk about the family business, but we got a pony. Your pony. For another year or two till it gets ready for the tracks. Or some shit. I don't know. Let's make it dark. What do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living?
Who are you? What is your life?
I'm an Instagram model.
Oh,
I still live with my parents, but I can move out if I wanted to. Our house is so big that I feel like it would be a waste to move out. We have so many empty rooms, I'm not even sure if I've seen them all.
She doesn't seem like she's lying. That's the worst part. It's like, I'm not even sure the last time I saw my parents. I know I have them. I know that they're fine, because if they weren't fine, then, like the will or insurance or something, like my trust fund would kick in sooner or something. What are their names again? Like, some shit like that. What is your life?
Describe a typical day in your life.
My days are really busy. My trainer wakes me up at 8, then I hit the gym for 2 hours. I head downstairs to get breakfast. Then I take a shower, get my hair and makeup done. Then I get dressed. And I take my first selfie of the day. Then I talk to my agent and she tells me what photo shoots I have or other obligations. On the rare days that I'm not that busy, I get to come on things like this show.
I think there's a part of my soul that just got like hurt just by how like I don't know. I don't even have Instagram. I don't really social media much at all. But I like how much that seemed like that is like a real thing and like cool. Like kudos to you. I'm not hating against people who have that life. Like I don't want people to fucking I definitely don't want people to have my life, and I definitely don't want people to suffer or be sad or, you know, if everyone could have such a blessed, like, oh wow, that's awesome, everything is awesome all the time for you, life, cool, instead of this like, but third eye blind, semi-charmed kind of life where it's like, yeah, no, this shit gets dark if you listen. The real world's unpleasant. But more power to you. It just also does kind of make me sad, in a sense. Just like might do for a little bit of oh, no, I have to come back for that one or anything else. Just whatever, man. Like, cool, good for you. I'm gonna come back for you. We're gonna come back to you. Yeah. What's the worst way you betrayed a friend? Let's get into
What's
that.
the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
I gave my friends chlamydia. In fairness, some of them probably had it already. We're all very open about our sexuality. That's just the type of people I vibe with.
I still think you're lying as fuck, but maybe not so much about that one. I feel like I have to follow it with this one.
Have you ever cheated on anyone?
There's no cheating in our world. Like, that's not
Yes
how it
and
works.
No, not really. I don't believe in monogamy.
But do your
Or
partners?
have a one-on-one relationship. I do
But
mess around with multiple partners.
Do your partners,
But they all
are
know
they
that
aware
we're
of
in a
that?
relationship,
Okay.
so it's not cheating.
So everybody
They're
knows.
allowed to have multiple partners too,
Okay.
and most of them do. Even saying that they're allowed to have multiple partners sounds wrong to me.
Alright.
I just don't understand monogamy. How can you tell another person they aren't allowed to do things that make them happy? That just seems so controlling to me.
I mean,
I could never do that to someone, or let someone do that to me.
like, I am not trying to support monogamy or debate against polygamy or any people. Like, look, your lives are your own, your relationships are your own, etc. I have no judgment to pass here. The concept of I could not. The statement was like, oh, I could. It's like, why wouldn't I ever let somebody do what makes them happy? It's like, well, what makes people happy isn't always just like you're just like, oh, well, they want to make the boinky boinky, you know, the beast with two backs and all that shit, or three backs or five backs or whatever. I don't care. That's not what I'm here. Not everybody's made happy with sex, or the type of sex that makes them. Fuck. I gotta say it. It's too topical. No Diddy. Like, just. That's too topical. It's recent. It's, you know. Somebody said that and it made me laugh really, really hard. And it was not even relating to sex at all. But they just sort of dropped that and I was like, that is hilarious. Like, they're like, no Diddy. And I was just like, I ain't trying to be political. I'm not a fan or not. I don't have a stance on the thing. I just hear about stuff and I'm like, that is funny. That is that as a new slang or meme or whatever the fuck it's gonna be. I was like, all right, that's cool. Like that's hilarious. It's a very good situational, observational commentary, humorous comment, you know, in my perspective. That said, then that sort of like bridges the gap between what I was saying there. It's like some people get happy from bad things, and not in a way that anybody likes, except for maybe them or people who shouldn't be around other people or whatever it is that they're harming. You're saying it this way, I get it. It's just, I don't think you're hurting anybody if, say for instance, to quote, what was it? Can't Hardly Wait, I think. It's like, oh, I said they were a dendrophiliac, which means that, and she would get this, somebody who likes to have sex with trees. Or I think it's flora in just general. But, not people named Flora, but like the idea of plants. But particularly trees. Like, you're probably not hurting the trees. Probably not great for it. I don't know. I'm not gonna be like, let's pull out Dr. Seuss and the Lorax and the One Slur and all that shit. I'm just saying, it's very different than other sexual type of crimes that could be committed. And then also just crimes, or things that are crimes because you're actively causing harm to people, like, say, using a hammer in a way that is not its intended purpose. Like, nails are there as a tool for the hammer to be hit by. The nail is not a thing that has feelings and emotions. You don't harm the nail in any sort of rational sense that society sees, but you could use that hammer and hit other things with it, and that would be a problem. But that might make the person with the hammer happy, doesn't make it good. And I'm going to try to like bring it back to something funny and be like, give fucking Super Mario Jumpman Mario fucking hammer, and he's just like and like he's just breaking everything, and he's having a good old time. Just look at him, he's having the time of his life over there. Doesn't mean he's not a fucking psycho, because all those bricks are actually Mushroom Kingdom residences that have been turned into all the things by King Koopa, or that, yeah. I kind of lost something there, but I got 3 more here. What's your proudest accomplishment?
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I organized a demonstration to save a park, and it worked. They were going to level the place and build a distribution center.
What's it called?
We had people protesting at the site for 3 weeks straight and got over 1,000 names on the petition. They ended up building the distribution center on the site of a nearby abandoned mall instead, so we didn't lose any jobs or anything. It was a complete win.
I mean, that's, I guess, the best thing you've said so far. I wasn't paying close enough attention to it, but I guess I just wanted to say, plot twist, you're actually Maddie from the other chicks. Like, oh, you're her long lost daughter. But I doubt that's the case. What about laws? You ever do some real eco-terrorism?
What is the most serious law you have ever broken?
I smoked a lot of weed in states where it wasn't legal yet.
Nah.
I guess I've technically sold it too, which would be a more serious
Nah.
crime. I was never a drug dealer, but if I bought a bunch and then some of my friends bought
You're
off
such
me,
a liar.
I guess that's technically selling drugs, even if I'm not charging them a markup. In terms of legal penalties, that would be the most serious. The penalties for drug-related charges are ridiculous in this country.
I agree with you on that, but you're lying about that. Like, the way she sort of froze was like, I mean, there was that time that I, you know, strapped a explosive device to somebody and I don't know her character. Like, maybe she's an eco-terrorist. Maybe she's not. Let's see what she says to the trolley problem. It's the last
You're
little
the
bit here.
conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people ahead of you on the tracks who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward,
She's like,
you
I
will
would
run
just
over
kill
and
the
kill
power
all 5 of
plant
them.
so
You
that
cannot
there's
stop the
no trolley
You can
problem.
change to an alternate track where there is only one person on it. If you decide to change tracks, the 5 people on the first track will live, but the one person on the alternate track
So like,
will
I
be
wouldn't
run
work
over
as a trolley
and die.
conductor in the
change
first
tracks?
place.
I changed tracks and hit the one person.
Oh, okay.
The only argument I can see for staying on the current track is that I might feel guilty if I actively made a decision that killed one person. But one person dying and me feeling guilty about it certainly isn't as bad as 5 people dying.
Depends on who dies. But that's a valid point. My opinion on the whole trolley problem is that it's meant to be an unanswerable question, but the most logical answer is obviously 1 over 5, but it's like, well, okay, but what if it's like 5 Hitlers and 1 person who's gonna cure cancer? You know? Like, they never that's the whole point, is they never define the validity of the trolley problem. They just give it to you, and they give it as a numbers game. And obviously, if you assume all people are equal, or they're all even like valid people, you know, you don't know, they might be like people who are literally 5 seconds from, you know, like, oh, this is a terminal patient that has, you know, about 25 minutes left to live. This person's been in a coma, and they're about to have their plug pulled. That made me sad. And there's any other number of things. This person is literally already bleeding out. Like, this person is like a serial killer. This person's so suicidal that they can't be helped. And then there's somebody who is, you know, like the other person, the one person on the other side is, you know, this person could change the world and become the first, like, Asian president of the United States astronaut that also is a war veteran and invented nanotechnology that makes it so people can live to be immortal, and also created free energy and somehow didn't get, you know, the whole society's not going to allow that. They just excelled above all others. People are not created equal. Sorry, I know that's what the thing says in the Constitution, and it'd be nice if we actually considered it when it comes to race and gender and pronouns and social position and stuff, but 5 people is not necessarily the same as 1, depending on the one. And I'm not saying that some elitist way that 1 person is more valuable than other 5, but there are some people who don't want to be, and there are some people who maybe the world doesn't need, and like Hitler, the world would be better off. You know, maybe maybe it's literally all the people who aren't going to become Hitler. They're already, you know, how many Nazi war criminals just skittered off? Yeah. And maybe that one person isn't even, they don't have to be, you know, the next president of free power. They could just be somebody who is somebody who inspires or speaks or is a great teacher or helps save lives. People save lives. Teachers save lives. A freaking firefighter, like, so people, just normal people, save lives all the time. Just caring, therapists, all sorts of people do this. You don't have to be a superhero to have. You don't have to have a cape. And I still personally think somebody who actually wants to do good in the world is probably better than 5 people who want to do bad in the world. The numbers game isn't it. This question is deliberately flawed. That's my opinion. That's my hot take. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Not necessarily what everybody wants to hear, because there's a million takes on this thing, and I just don't feel like enough people sit there and just say, this is dumb. Like, it's not even a good thought experiment, because you're deliberately not giving enough information. You're basically trying to be like, make a choice right now, and it's like, it's not real. And like, I don't want to be elitist and think at all that one person is necessarily worth more than 5, depending on the circumstances, but they could all be, those 5 could be, those are death row inmates. They have earned their place. You saving them actually is not doing anything, because next week, their state's just going to put them in the chair or whatever. And that other one is somebody who wasn't one of them, and that's just how we roll. And even if you don't like the death penalty, that's cool. But they would have just been a problem and a burden on the state, and a problem for everybody that they harmed, Jeffrey Dahmer shit. And that other person could have even just a normal ass person, if it's like 5 Jeffrey Dahmers in a row, or one random motherfucker who's just like, dude, I'm happy to just live my life and be like, welcome to Costco, I love you, like, and they're just a cool person, they're a good hang, it's Jeffrey, he's that bloke down the block, he's a good kid. That's better than the other. So that's just how easy it is to say how people are not equivalent. It's not about race, it's not about any of that. It's not about money, it's not about social class, or any of that. It's just, not everybody wants to be in any way good. Some people want to be not good. Like I said, with a hammer, you choose. Give a hammer to a good person, build habitat for humanity. Give a hammer to a bad person, they want to make brain stew for dinner because they're the chef, they're the cook jack. That's all a thing. And I'd like to help all those people who are like that, but we need to get science better and change our laws and change our ways of seeing those people so that we can help them. But under the circumstances of trying to look at the trolley problem as much as I can, I cannot say that 5 lives without definition are better than 1 life without definition. There is but you choose. But do you choose? That's my thought. Again, TED Talk, nice time. Don't know if I can use this.